What do you want for your life? It's a simple question, honestly. A lot of people just say they don't know. And I just want you to think, how do you want your life to continue? Because you got to get something figured out at some point, right? One of my biggest fears is just never finding something that I'm good at, right? And turning that into a profession. That's one of my biggest fears. And that happens to a lot of people. They just drift through life not having any kind of direction, working some kind of job that they really don't like. Or even worse, they just decide to go to college immediately after high school with no kind of plan of why they're going to college. They don't really know, they couldn't tell you why, but they're going to college because their parents told them to. When I take a look at my life, I realize that I spent a lot of my childhood messing around and not really doing much, playing video games, stuff like that, right? But a childhood doesn't determine your future whatsoever. Because when you're in your early 20s, I hear this pretty often, but your 20s is the time for you to grind, those are your years to really figure out what you're going to do for the rest of your life kind of thing. And I agree with that. If you just don't really do anything and slack off and mess around in college for your 20s, part of your 20s, and then just mess around for the rest of it, I don't think you're getting much out of that, are you? Having some kind of goal in mind is really important, especially for myself. If you don't have a goal of what you want to do after high school, you need to figure one out, because no one's holding your hand after you graduate high school, Obviously, some people have it more difficult than others, even in their childhood. But for a lot of kids, they have their parents to kind of help them out along the way, in high school and all that. But after high school, you have the freedom to do whatever you want. No one's telling you can't do this or you can't do that. You can do whatever you want. And the worst decision to make with that freedom is to just slack off and not really do anything, right? A lot of people get the idea that they had to do high school for so long, and they finally graduated, so they're just going to chill out now, take a gap year or whatever, and then just go to some college and then mess around, right? That is not what I want to do. I don't want to do that. What I'm looking for is a trade. That's what I want to do. My goal is to just apply to as many places as possible. I'm talking to one place right now. And one thing I have to realize is that even if a trade is one of the most highly demanded trades in California as of right now, which is HVAC, you have to realize that just because it's highly demanded doesn't mean it's a get-rich-quick kind of thing. Nothing ever is. If it was a get-rich-quick kind of thing, then I feel like everyone would be doing it, right? But no one's doing it because they don't want to put in the hard work. It's a lot of manual labor, and I understand why some people wouldn't want to do that. But there's also a lot of lazy people that would take that opportunity and throw it away, right? They don't want to work with their hands and do a bunch of stuff. They're too lazy for that. I'm willing to put in the work for that. And the way you have to look at it is doing a trade like that, or really any kind of thing that you want to pursue, it's like an investment. You need to be prepared to invest the next 10 years of your life to perfect that craft. And that's how you move up and up the companies, right? You need to invest time. Don't invest your time into some retail job. You need to find something more legit than that, obviously. You just need to be smart about what you want to do. So just look at your life and ask yourself, what do I want to do for the next 30, 40 years, right? Because you're going to need to figure out something eventually. I need to figure out stuff for myself as well. I have the goal in my mind. You just need to not become lazy. Being lazy is one of the worst things you can do for yourself, so I don't want to self-sabotage myself like that. The way I look at it, high school was my time to kind of, mess around and relax. But now that I'm 19, I'm going to be 20 in 5 months. This is the part of my life where I need to really get my stuff together, you know? And I need to really try and put all my effort into something, because no one's there to just bail you out when you mess up, right? Just need to focus on what you want and put in all your effort to get that. I'm willing to do that. It's just going to take a long time, and I'm well aware of that. Like I said, one of my biggest fears is to just float through life not knowing what I'm doing, or not having a profession that I'm proud of. That's one of my biggest fears, and I don't want to end up like those deadbeats that you see, just drinking all the time and whatever. That's not going to be me. Take care, guys.